The Shock Therapy Podcast.
It's that boom, boom, boom.
At that point, electric current is passed between the electrodes in the head.
That shit just kicked in. I just feel like I smoked 1,000 blunts.
For discovery brings with it the penalties of society. Shame, arrest, prison.
Oh, sorry, I was taking life seriously.
I'm over the end dangerous territory. This is dangerous territory right here. I'm in.
I don't know what psychotic means, really.
What's up, everybody? Thank you for tuning in to the Shock Therapy Podcast for Tuesday, November 3rd. I'm your host, Carson McGregor, and it is Election Day, or at least the traditional voting day. And I was going to do something about politics, do something about the election, whatever, some mumbo-jumbo. But if you watched my podcast before, you know I've kind of talked at length about that, and I have dick to say. I really don't have anything necessary to put out into the world. My opinion is pretty irrelevant. But I was thinking about that as a topic, thinking about, people having such divided opinions at this point. It seems like every single year it's getting more divided and divided. The two sides of the political coin are getting further apart from each other. And so I wanted to do something about opinions. And I was looking on Reddit to find some subreddit about that. And luckily, there is a subreddit called r/unpopularopinions. It's kind of a popular one, 1.7 million members. And about 2 weeks ago, I did another one of these with Reddit, where I went on the OkCupid subreddit and I found different red flag or deal breaker questions where you take a quality in a person, like they're very bad with money, or they don't keep their living space straight. It's a complete mess, shit like that. And you kind of hash it out in the comments whether or not that's a red flag or a complete deal breaker in a relationship, which was a lot of fun. If you haven't seen that one, go check that out. But today, this is all about unpopular opinions. I haven't seen any of these. I just opened it up. And I'm going to look through some of these unpopular opinions and kind of give my thoughts on them. Maybe I agree with some of them. Maybe I disagree with some of them. I think when people say I have an unpopular opinion and you're putting it online like this, you're going to get a ton of people that are like, fuck, like I didn't know this was unpopular. I've felt this way all my life. So here we go. And I'm doing the top comments because I'm not trying to get any trash. I'm trying to get the cream of the crop here, As a kid, sleeping with the door of the bedroom open is way more scary than it being closed. Yeah. Is that unpopular? Do kids really want the bed? I mean, yeah, of course. Of course. This doesn't seem like an unpopular opinion at all. I mean, the door closed. At least there's no mysteries. You see that little crack in the door, you're like, what the fuck is that? Who's looking at me right now? There could be like a face out there, and it would be kind of like bathed in darkness. I could all of a sudden kind of see something that looks like a nose and freak myself out. But if it's closed, it's like, all right, if it's in here, it's already got me. So there's security in knowing that if it's outside, I'm going to hear it come in. Whatever the scary monster ghost thing is, I'm going to hear it come in. And if it's already in here, it was going to get me anyway. So, I mean, there's security in knowing that. So, yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I don't even think that's that crazy. All right. I mean, that's a good start. Next one. The French accent isn't actually sexy. Okay. Hard disagree. I mean, I find not any, but most foreign accents pretty sexy. I don't know. I just like the thing of, it's not from here. I don't see it every day. I think the British accent is super sexy. I think obviously the French accent. I think the Italian accent is super sexy. I think the Indian accent is underrated as a sexy accent. That's a fucking really sexy accent. Like that hard Indian accent. Asian accents are pretty sexy. Accents. They're great. I'm around fucking Americans all day. I'm used to that. I'm used to, Becky's. Fucking Becky's and Emily's and Rachel's. I want to get some, Emanuela. I want to get some of that in my life, No, the French accent's sexy as fuck. Falling in love over time should be much more romanticized than love at first sight. I mean, come on. Come on, buddy. That's what the world is. Like, when you're talking about it romanticized, I get you're talking about, like, movies and shit. But we're all aware that movies aren't real. I hope we are. I hope we're all aware of that at this point. That movies are not reality. That you can't base your life off of what's happening in the movies. You're watching this movie where these two characters, fall in love. They see each other. This guy's up on a horse. And he sees this, beautiful girl out in a field. And they lock eyes, and they instantly know that they're going to be together forever. But then later in the movie, there's fucking dragons. So, I mean, you could separate that, but you can't separate the... I don't know. No, yeah, I think in real life, that's what it is. People fall in love over time. Falling in love on first sight? Are you shitting me? There's like nobody in my life I knew I even liked on first sight. I'm pretty suspicious. Or skeptical, rather. No, I am also suspicious. I'm a suspicious guy. I'm sus. Biting both Kit Kat segments at the same time is the correct way to eat them. Ooh, okay. Now, see, this is what I was looking for. This is the, like, unpopular opinions that I'm looking for. I'm not looking for, opinions that can be discussed either way. I'm looking for something that really is established as an unpopular opinion, and this is what I'm looking for right here. Yeah, no. Like, I don't have a hard opinion on Kit Kats. Eat them however you like. Like, if I see somebody eating the Kit Kat like a candy bar, full fucking all of the segments at one time, I'm not going to get mad at that. I think people that get mad over food stuff, that's nuts. Like the pineapple pizza thing. If you get mad at somebody putting pineapple on pizza, like, you need to reevaluate what's going on in your life. Like, do you have nothing better to get mad about? There's a lot of bad shit that happens in the world, and that's, like, pretty low on the totem pole. No, but I would never eat a Kit Kat like that, because that just ruins the experience of eating a Kit Kat. I mean, let's talk about this for a second, though. Kit Kats, phenomenal. One of the best candies out there. They shouldn't be as good as they are. They're very simple. I think some of the best things are simple. A Reese's cup. It's just peanut butter and chocolate. Like, simple. Simple and elegant. You don't got to get fancy. It's a candy bar. What are we fucking doing here? Dear parents whose adult children don't talk to them, it's always your fault. Ooh. Okay. I don't like hard stances like this, like a line in the sand. It's always your fault. But I gotta imagine, I'm an adult child of parents, and I talk to my parents every day. I also live with them, but that'd be weird if we just walked through the house like like we're in an old western, just eyeing each other down. I gotta imagine it's like mostly the parents' fault most of the time, because, like, if the kid's fucked up, if the kid is like, into just doing fucking drugs all day and they don't want to get a job and all this shit, like, you didn't instill any type of values into them. Like, I don't think people are naturally just fucking bad at living, bad at being a person. Like, you didn't address these problems early on. You didn't establish a set of values and a set of, you didn't do your job the correct way. Now, here's what I will say. It's not necessarily, when you say it's their fault, it makes it sound super accusatory, like you fucked up. Like, I don't think necessarily that's true, because who knows how to be a parent until you do it? You kind of just thrown into that. You can read all the books in the world, but it's a case-by-case basis how it's going to turn out. And you think you're doing the right shit. I think most parents think they're doing the right shit, you know. So when it doesn't turn out well, then it's not really on them because they thought they were doing the right shit. It's not like they knew the right shit was to do something else, but they just consciously made the effort to do the wrong shit. I just think that this is a little bit too harsh, and I think this was written by somebody who has parents that they don't speak to. College should only exist for law, medical, science, and education degrees. Okay. I don't know about that. I don't know about that at all. Well, because I think with those specific degrees, there is a higher education. Like you go to seek a master's degree, or you get your you get your doctorate. You go to grad school, all this type of shit for those degrees. I mean, you're not going to be a lawyer with a bachelor's degree. You're not going to be a doctor with a bachelor's degree. You can get into those fields, but you're not going to be at the height of those fields, what you probably want to become with those types of degrees. So I think that this kind of already exists, but what they're saying is that things like art school probably shouldn't exist, and if they do, they shouldn't be as expensive as they are, which I agree with. The fact that you're going to go, put yourself in debt thousands and thousands of dollars, like $100,000 to get a creative writing degree, that's insane. I mean, how much are they really providing you? Economically speaking, I'm not saying they're not providing a skill, they're not providing something that's that's worth something, but it's not financially viable. Parents, you don't have to torture yourself with shitty kids music. Okay, yeah, no, I 100% agree with that. That's the case. That's the case, man. Like, you don't have to play like children's music for your kids. Like, a lot of music is out there that's not like too adult for kids to be listening to. I remember when I was young, whenever my mom would take me to school early on, when I went to this like little Christian school, my mom would have to drive me there because there was no buses that took us there, and we would listen to country music every morning. So I always kind of have had this soft spot for country music. It's never been my thing. I've never really liked it, but I know so many words to so many like Kenny Chesney songs. It's ridiculous. Like, it's almost embarrassing. Like, if a song comes on, a random ass country song comes on, because the popular country has not changed in years. It's been they've been mulling over the same songs. It's crazy. It's crazy. Like, the songs I was listening to when I was in like when I was in like 4th grade are still on country radio stations. They have not made very much new shit that's caught on. Yeah, no, it wasn't kids' music. It was popular country music, but I could totally listen to that, and I don't think my mom ever feared that it was corrupting me in any way. I think that as a parent, I'm speaking as a parent a lot for somebody who is not a parent, but I think the idea of that is that, there's an educational value to that or something. I don't even know why you would listen to that. Like the Baby Shark song, it's the most annoying fucking song of all time. And parents always constantly talk about how it's like they've heard it so many goddamn times and it's seared into their brain. Like, why didn't you get them into something else? Like, it's just a catchy song. That's why they're into that. Because it's just a super duper catchy song that gets stuck in your head. So just find another earworm type of song that you can show them first that's actually a good song, so they'll get into that. Like Michael Jackson's Bad. Why don't you just play that all the time and they'll be like, I'm bad, I'm bad. Then you got like the coolest kid ever. Oh man. There are no good mobile games anymore. Okay, I'm going to need you to elaborate, sir. Let's be real here. More than 75% of mobile games are a money-making scheme. Having an ad pop up every single time you get some tiny achievement should not be considered a game. Okay, yeah, no, I get what they're saying here. But here's the thing. If you're not paying for it, then why would they make it? Why would they make it if they're not going to advertise like crazy on the platform? And they always have the, you pay 99 cents and we're never going to show you an ad again option. They have that option. So I think there's flaws in your reasoning here. And what's the anymore thing? What were games not like this before? Because they were. They absolutely were. They advertised like crazy. They've always done that. If you didn't pay for it, they're going to show you a bunch of ads, and that's just, that's how it's going to be. And Among Us, that's like the new craze. I got into it. I'm not really into games, but I got into Among Us. It's fun as fuck. They show you an ad after every round. And that's not too crazy. I mean, you can skip it for the most part. Most of them are like super easily skippable. So, I don't know. I'm not too torn up about that. Yeah, that's this seems like a flawed point. If someone's loved one dies of lung cancer, do not ask them if they smoked. I mean, I guess. That just seems more like politeness than an unpopular opinion. To be fair, though, if somebody tells you their loved one died, it's not taking anything away from them and their struggle at that moment, but it's putting you in a tough spot. Like, what are you supposed to say? I'm sorry. It's not your fault. You didn't do nothing. So you're clearly not actually sorry. That's horrible. My condolences. That's the best you can really come up with. There's not a whole lot you could say in that moment. I mean, if you're close enough to the person that you can give them a hug, that's probably the best you can do. But I mean, if you're trying to make conversation at that point, like, well, what happened? I mean, random lung cancer? Crazy. But yeah, no, I get why they're saying this. Because it's, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It probably. If they died of lung cancer, probably they smoked. But they, not necessarily, but probably. Marshmallows are absolutely disgusting. Well, sort of. Okay, sort of. I sort of agree with this. I half agree with this. Half agree, half disagree. It's more about the s'more combination. Marshmallows on their own. Who's eating fucking marshmallows on their own? But I will say, marshmallow fluff and peanut butter. I remember we were at a family friend's house when I was a kid, and I've been a PB&J kid forever. And they gave me a sandwich, and it was peanut butter and marshmallow fluff, and I fucking ate that. The Nutter Butter. It blew my mind. Fluff or Nutter, not Nutter Butter. That's a candy. No, that's a bar. What would you even call that? Like a Little Debbie type of snack cake thing, but it's like more like Kit Kat style. I don't know. It's the s'more combination, but the fucking Fluff or Nutter is delicious, and that opened up my eyes. I took one bite of that, and I was like, this is delicious. This is way better than jelly. Fuck jelly. Never eaten jelly again. And then my mom would never buy it because it's super bad for you. But jelly's pretty bad for you, too. I mean, it's just sugar. But I guess it's natural sugar if you get the right jelly. But Welch's, I mean, if you're buying Welch's, you might as well just be buying fucking marshmallow fluff. If you've never had a Fluff or Nutter sandwich, treat yourself. It's delicious. It doesn't sound as good as it actually is. I know it might sound okay, like, oh yeah, marshmallows, peanut butter. I mean, it's just good flavors together. But like, the combination, you wouldn't anticipate it to be as good as it really is. It's fucking phenomenal. So I disagree on the fuck marshmallows point, but I get just a pure marshmallow in its ethos is not great. It has to have other shit. It has to have other shit attached to it. But I would argue there's a lot of things like that. Like bread. Bread's fine. Bread's okay. But I think most bread, especially sliced like white bread, you need to add more elements to make it great, to get it over the edge of greatness. I think on its own, it's like, whatever. I mean, at the very least, butter. People shouldn't be judged so harshly for spending hours playing video games. I mean, they say below here when they're doing their little explanation piece. I haven't really been reading the explanations because I'm kind of getting the point. They say it's not a waste of time. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it fucking is. It's fine though. I mean, nobody should judge anybody for anything like that, what they want to spend their time doing. Because who gives a fuck? Who gives a fuck? What you want to spend your free time doing. It's totally up to you, and nobody should judge you harshly for it. I think this could carry over into a lot of different things. You know, if you're into scrapbooking, if you're into fucking knitting, if you're into, you know, whatever it may be. Like, if you have hobbies, that's your hobbies. Who cares? But it is like the most boring hobby option. One of them. Not trying to shit on you if you play video games. I don't play a whole lot of them, but it's not original. You know, it's not like a crazy original thing. You know, most people play video games. At least mobile games, you know. So most people play video games to a certain level. So it's not the most original hobby. And if you spend hours doing it, you're not getting anything done. So it is a waste of time to... I'm trying to kind of debate in my head here whether it's a waste of time or what is time wasting really. Is there even such a thing? Because like we're all going to die. So if something's making you happy, then who gives a shit? That's really my point here. That's really my point. I rescind everything I say about it actually being a waste of time. So if you are enjoying yourself, I mean, you're killing it. You're doing a great job. If you're having fun at any given point in your life, you're doing great because you're going to die and you might as well make the most of whatever this is. If you expect a guy to take you on a date, then you need to be taking him on dates also. Yeah, gender equality. I'm all about that. That's an easy one. I don't even have anything more to say about that. I mean, I think everybody can get on board with that. That's not even an unpopular opinion. We're starting to get into, like, normal opinion territory. Binge watching is a bad way to watch a show. Yes, 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 and yes. I definitely do this from time to time. Not really much anymore, but yeah, it's terrible. It's a terrible way to consume television. Because like if you're watching 8 episodes straight, by episode number 7, like, yeah, you're probably invested, but I don't know. It's like it takes out the television aspect. You know, I very seldom read a whole book cover to cover. I'll read a part of it. I might go chapter by chapter. I might go like quarter by quarter if it's a smaller book. You know, read a quarter of it, come back to it later, read a quarter of it, come back to it later. I think trying to like hit a whole season of a show, you're not going to remember so much because your brain can't process all of that at one time. So I definitely agree with this. Even though I do it, like, it's not the greatest way to watch a show. To really consume content that you want to consume and you want to remember and talk about with your friends. There's no such thing as a bad word, and teaching kids otherwise is counterproductive and stupid. Yes, and sort of no. Yes, that there's swear words shouldn't be considered anything. You should be able to say fuck, shit, piss, cunt, cocksucker, motherfucker, tits. What are the George Carlin words? You should be able to say all those and not be judged for it because I kind of have I'm kind of going back and forth on a lot of these, and I'm kind of having some come to Jesus moments on a lot of these questions, trying to figure out what I actually think about things. Because the beauty of swear words and the reason they have any weight to them whatsoever is because they're considered bad words. So if you say like fuck out of nowhere, it hits harder because it's a bad word. So it does take some of the beauty out of swearing if you completely change the trajectory of culture to make it not a bad word anymore. That's a problem. And also racial slurs. Those are, I mean, if there's anything that's gonna be bad words, those are the bad words. Racial slurs are bad words. Everything else is fair game, and you should be able to say everything else on television. And you should be able to say racial slurs on television if you're doing a period piece or you're doing something like American History X. Like then, yeah, people shouldn't get so caught up over language. It's ridiculous. Just words, just noises we make with our mouths. We have the common ancestor of apes, and the only reason that we're more advanced than them is because we developed thumbs and we developed something with our palate so that we were able to make complex noises and develop language. We have taken this shit way too seriously. We are apes with thumbs. I mean, with opposable thumbs. I'm trying to skip the ones that are just not that great. Okay. Math and science education is not nearly as important as history and civics. Even the math and science that is taught isn't emphasizing the important things. I wouldn't want to say that one thing is more important than the other, because you got people that want to go in different career paths, and you kind of want to. It's like a shotgun blast. You want to hit these. That's probably bad to be talking about with kids. Yeah, bad example there. But you know what I'm saying. It's just like a wide. You want to hit them with a wide amount of topics. But I would like to expound on this and say that math and science is not nearly as important as everything else. You know, it shouldn't be touted as like the most important shit, like one of the 5 key topics you got to be learning about in school. I think, you know, it should be more like college, where 1 year you're learning about this shit, then 1 year you're learning about that shit. And like English and history are the only 2 that are completely constant, that you just learn all the time. I guess math in primary school you should probably learn just to get the basics. But yeah, no, I agree with this to a certain level. People driving under the speed limit should be ticketed. I don't know about that. Just go around them. Just go around them. On the highway, just go around them. But if they're not on the highway, I sort of get what you're saying, that it is dangerous to a certain degree, that it's not really the right way to be driving, because it can put people in harm's way. They're expecting somebody to go 45, and when they're going 35, it just kind of throws them off. Yeah, no, I agree with that. Significantly under the speed limit. And to be fair, if you are going significantly under the speed limit, you might get ticketed. For they'll just do something like erratic driving, because that is like a form of erratic driving, or a reckless driving, that you're going so slow, and they're gonna pull you over and be like, "Are you fucking stoned? What's going on?" Like, they're gonna ask you questions, because that's ridiculous if you're going like 20 miles under. But I think if you're going like 10, like it could be like a grandma, and she just doesn't like to drive fast. Fuck it. Stop getting so caught up with getting caught in traffic. Yeah, some of these are just shitty. Some of these are... Morning sex is not that great. Boom. Boom. This guy's laying down the law right now. It is not that great. That is a... That's an on-the-fence opinion if I've ever heard one. It's not that great. Like, everybody else is talking about how fucking awesome it is. Somebody else's morning breath right in your mouth. It's not that great, sure. But if you're familiar with the person, they're familiar with you, it's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. It's a pretty intimate thing to be able to do that, and for it to be enjoyable. I think that's how you know you're into a person, if you can have sex with them like when you both just woke up and it's awesome. Because I've been on both sides of that, and when it's not good, it's really not good. So you're kind of onto something there. So isn't that great is the right way to phrase it. It's not that great until it's great, and then it's awesome. Yeah, no, I think that's enough from me for today. This was fun, man. This was fun. I like this subreddit a lot, and I might come back to this another time because this is fucking great. There's a lot of really cool shit on here. Man, people got some crazy opinions, man. But I don't think a whole lot of these were that crazy. I think I was probably 50-50 with agreement and disagreement, and then sitting on the fence for a bunch of them as well. But this was interesting. This was interesting. Let me know if there's any of these that you have a really fucking strong opinion on. Like, say in the comments, like, what you have a really, really strong opinion on with these topics. And hit the bell, subscribe to the channel. Fucking, I got another podcast with my boy Mikey. It comes out every Sunday and Wednesday. It's called Let's Start Dreaming, the name of the channel, LSD. And follow us on social media at Wade and Low Key. I think that's everything. I think that's all the shit I gotta say at the end. So I hope you guys have a good one. Drink RC Cola and sway for president.